What's wrong with being African?
Ain't nothing wrong with being African. It's just that I'm not African. I was born in America.
So, so,
Ain't
so
nothing,
your bloodline. Are you black?
yeah, I'm black.
Black what? You just black.
Black. I'm a black man. Black what? Black man? What are you talking about? I'm black. It's black all over the world. Do that mean they African? It's black and it's black Cubans. It's black everywhere. That don't mean that they African because you black. Black don't mean African.
No, I didn't mean to say that, but we're from Africa, bro. It's the heart of a black man. That's where we from. That's the land of the black man.
I'm not African. If you want to be African, that's on you.
All right,
And
man.
shout out to my Africans. I'm not African. My mother from Atlantic City.
Cameron. He was invited in the podcast and he said that he is not African. And in the comment section, many people were insulting him. But I'm gonna prove that what he said is not wrong. And before I explain more, I want you to watch this video.
How are you today?
Well, thank you very much.
Where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Aborigines were the original people of Australia, correct? Yeah. And so you are technically the originals of Australia.
We are tenants from all over. Yeah, we were all solid generation.
Okay.
Yeah, from everywhere.
Okay.
The culture is very strong.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm from America. Okay.
Where do you play basketball or one?
No, I don't play basketball. No. I'm into the arts. I'm into like music and writing and poetry and stuff like that. Yeah. You too? You look like it. You know, you guys, this is where you guys were born and raised, and like you've been here for thousands and thousands of years.
These are indigenous melanated Australians. And these people are indigenous in Australia. And this will support the fact that some black Americans are also indigenous on the Americas. Because when you visit all parts of the world, we find there some groups of black people who are indigenous on that land. Let's watch these black Americans responding to what Cameron said. I will come back at the end with more detailed commentaries. The video is for awareness and educational purpose. If you find it interesting, support us by clicking on that like button.
Real quick, y'all see Cameron, right? Cameron said he don't consider himself African American. He gonna call himself Black American because Africans don't F with us anyway. I'm pretty sure he's seen the Israelites telling black people we ain't been African. And I like that he said they don't F with us anyway, because as much African as we try to be, they don't try to incorporate us into being African. Everybody need to wake up. If you black in America, we the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. We are not African.
How long does a bloodline have to live in one land before they are considered a pure species of that land? Meaning, how long did my people have to be in America to say, hey, no, we're American, compared to some people who are English American, who are Irish American, who are German American from their ancestors, but they get to call themselves American. There's nothing wrong with being African American, but a true African American is someone that is from Africa and moved here, either first generation or second generation, and has a tie to that country that I do not have. One of the first census in Virginia that allowed for Black people to have a name was somebody from my family. So that means they were there long before. I think there comes a point where when you build a country, when you fight for freedom, make money and pay taxes and generationally live in a country, you have the privilege to call yourself pure.
Us having been called African American that's the reason why a lot of people still see us as immigrants. Like they still kind of view us in like that immigrant class, as if we're not really from here. We don't really belong here because you're attaching a continent to the American identity as it pertains to us. So in a way, it kind of does put, for people who are not familiar with who we are or our history in the country, may be confusing, and it may make them think that we're in the same immigrant boat as everybody else. And hence the reason why people are coming at us like, you guys are next up to be deported. You know, you guys can be deported too. You know, you guys don't belong here too. You know, like stupid shit like that.
What's wrong with being American? I know you've seen that back and forth with Cameron where that dude's asking what's wrong with being African, and he said there's nothing wrong with being African. I'm just not African. I wasn't born there. I don't speak any languages from there. You know, my parents aren't from there, or my grandparents are not from there. But the dude just keeps on pushing at it, bro. He keeps on pushing at it, talking about some, oh, well, you know, the black man's heart is in Africa and his homeland and all this sentimental bullshit. Like, bro, knock it off, bro. It's starting to look like a damn psyop, bro. It's starting to look crazy as hell, bro. Those countries over there are brand new. Those countries, Nigeria, Ghana, these West African countries, the various 54 countries in Africa are literally like barely hitting 70 years old. Our grandparents are older than these countries, and you want us to identify with these countries, but not with the 250-year-old country that was actually built off the backs of American slaves and built off the backs of our ancestors, where our ancestors' bones are buried in American soil, but we're not supposed to identify with this country nor identify with the continent. That's a crock shit that doesn't make any sense. And the dude could not even articulate. He's just smiling like, well, you know, you can't change nobody's mind and all this stuff, and sometimes they don't know no better. Man, knock that the off, because you don't even know how to articulate yourself and you don't even know what you're saying. Cameron said that he wasn't African. Just accept that shit. And this is something that a lot of black Americans are trying to explain to people like, bro, most of our roots and lineage is buried in American soil. And y'all cannot accept it. And I always say this, if you build a country, that is where you're from. If you build a country, you're from that country. So we're supposed to be the only group of melanated people who builds a country, and we're not supposed to identify with it, but you can build a 60-year-old country that's brand new, you know what I'm saying? A country that, you know what I'm saying, was not even out of colonial rule while our ancestors were fighting civil rights. That don't make any sense, Joe. That does not make any damn sense at all.
I think they get intimidated when you reject that. You feel me? Like, where you really from? You see my buddy tried to play that game, but no, where you really from? What type of black really are you? I'm a black American. That ain't good enough for you? You feel me? And the only part I give Cam a little pushback on, he said his people was just from the north. And I've heard brothers from up north say that, and that might be true. I'm not even going to deny that some brothers straight from up north, it probably was, bro. I ain't even gonna knock it. It probably was. But I will say majority of black Americans from up north, the overwhelming majority came from the South. That's a fact. That's just a fact. It is what it is. The overwhelming majority of black Americans up north, maybe 2, 3, 4 generations might have been removed from the South. I know that. I got cousins that lived up north and they've been there since 1800s, bro. So I get why some northerners might be like, nah, we from the north. And I get that. I ain't even knocking that. But we still black Americans. That's the main part. Damn, what part of America? We still black Americans. So it's just disrespectful to tell us we from a continent that we never been to. Some of us have no plans to go to. I'd rather go to Japan or somewhere in South America. No disrespect. I'm sure Africa's a beautiful place. South Africa, I like the way South Africa looks. But, you know, I just think it's disrespectful when they try to tell us we African. And none of my family's from Africa. A lot of our families are not from Africa.
As a natural black American girly, I'm always being asked, where you from? Where you from? Where are your people from? And I'm always having to say, America, America, America. I am from America. I am American. My folks is from Alabama and Florida. I am American, American, American. It's this lady, this older black lady. She sits behind me at work. And when she first met me, she's like, you're so chocolate. You're so pretty. Oh, my God, your hair is so pretty. Where are you from? Are you from the islands? I said, no, I'm from Alabama. And she, every time I come in there, because, you know, I eat like a geechee. So I'm eating pickled okra. I'm eating turkey necks and neck bones. And she's just like, oh, they eat that stuff over in Jamaica, whatever. I don't know nothing about no Jamaica. I don't know what they eat over there. But I keep telling her, no, I'm country. You know what I'm saying? This is just how we eat in the South. And I be thinking, like, why do people always think, like even on social media, I'm being told that I'm Habibi. I'm not Habibi, Hashiba, Habisha, the Somalian women. Y'all be saying I'm Brit lady or whatever. I'm not. Somalian. I don't even have East African in my bloodline. But people are always assuming that I'm from another place. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I think it's because not necessarily when I don't want y'all to think I'm trying to be funny when I say I don't look like the average black woman or the black American woman. I think it's because I don't carry myself in the same aesthetics as the average black American woman. I showcase my natural features. I showcase my natural hair, where most black American women, they all have the same aesthetic. They're all wearing the same exact wigs. They're all wearing the same exact big lashes, the same exact makeup style. Black American women, we all share different features and looks and shades. You can't really tell because we all look the same because of how we dress ourselves up. And that's why I come up here and I say, black American women, go natural, go natural. Show everybody who you are, what you actually look like. Because everybody look the same. Everybody literally looks the same. So when they meet a black American woman like me from Alabama who don't like wigs, who would much rather wear her natural hair, you must gotta be from a different country. Where you from? You got your copper on, you got your neutral colors on. Where are you from? I'm from Alabama. I even go back to Alabama to go visit my people, and people are asking me, where are your people from? Right here. My people are right here. Like, they're from right. Like, every time a black American is talking about their ancestry, it's always, oh, well, you got 20% this, and it's just that, and it's just this. You're still African, and you look like you came from Kenya. You look South Sudanese. Like, is this a cry for help? Like, what do y'all want us to do? Y'all, the ancestral jealousy is crazy. No, you're proud to have European ancestry. You have European ancestry. Yeah, I do. What the? And are you mad because you don't? Like, I be so confused. Like, what is the combativeness? Like, what are we going back and forth for? Why are you mad at me about something I can't control? I can't. It's just 20%. 20% more than you have. But you want me to hate it because you're upset that you don't have it. It's so crazy because I thought y'all was proud Africans. Like, Americans mention one thing about our ancestry. Oh, but it's 70% African. You got your 70% African. Okay, what that still got to do with anything else? Like, I'm confused. Like, y'all hate for black Americans to talk about their ancestry. It just triggered the out of West Africa. I don't understand.
Are you from Nigeria?
No, I am not. Do I sound Nigerian? I'm black American, bro. And for the record, personally, I don't have a problem looking African, whatever that means. I'm just saying ethnically, I'm not. I don't have any African family members I can trace my bloodline to. You know what I mean? So people need to respect that. Our lineage is foundational black Americans. And anybody in my own community who thinks my facial features don't fit their idea of what a foundational black American looks like, slap yourself. Because you're ignorant, you're too ignorant, and you make us look ignorant as a people. You know what I mean? Most of us are of African descent, if not all, whether you want to believe it or not.
Y'all want to know how I know that Africans, Caribbeans, and other melanated people are trying to destiny swap with black Americans? Think about this, y'all. Africans, Caribbeans, and other melanated groups of people, they have been proudly for decades making sure they put African-owned, Caribbean-owned, or just in general, the origin of their country, right, in front of their business. This has been known. This is a long time fact. This is a long time fact. If they are, let's say, Ethiopian, they're going to put like Ethiopian, Ethiopian something. It's always going to have their country of origin in the title. But now you see melanated people, Africans, Caribbeans, and all other melanated people. You see them saying black-owned, black-owned, black-owned Caribbean, black-owned African. Most of the times, Africans don't even say they're black-owned. I mean, they don't even say they're African-owned. Now they're starting to say black-owned. But yeah, black-owned Caribbean soul food, or black-owned African braiding shop, like black-owned this, black-owned that. Again, for decades, since they've been here, they have never, ever cared about putting black-owned in front of anything. They have always tried to stay away from it. So why now in 2026? Why now in 2026 are melanated people that are not black American putting black-owned in front of their business of origin, whatever?
I think that when they call black people who were born and raised for generations in this country, if you accept the handle of African American, that says that you don't accept being an American American. You don't accept being born in Chicago or New York or Detroit or wherever you were born. For generations, your family has been here, you know, built this country too. Sweat and tears and all that, you know, fought in every war, okay? So this is my country here. So I don't want to be called African American. I'm an American American. My people have died and done everything for this country.
There is nothing common and natural that is going to make me and you ever understand each other easily as an African American and I. Impossible. You were intentionally separated by being taken away from the continent. Now, you are asking for a unity with Africans on the continent. We have huge problems of our own. Inside the United States, the African Americans themselves don't get along. Crime and killings in Chicago, Baltimore, LA, Detroit, you name it. Now, when are you going to even fix that to unite in the United States of America first and say, now we can look towards the continent? When we are divided over there, we can't. There's better chance you guys can unite here than we can ever dream. Don't be fooled by that. And don't let anybody who comes here tells you anything flowery about the continent as if we have accomplished anything. No, we haven't.
All right, brothers and sisters. You've heard what these Black Americans are saying, and shout out to everybody whose clip was featured in the video. Many of them are siding with Cameron, supporting his ideas that they are tired of being called African Americans. They're also saying that some of their people are indigenous on that land. When you go down and read the comments that are coming from Africans, you will be shocked. The idea that Africans have about Black Americans is totally different from what Black Americans think they are. The common point that these Africans are raising is that you all are not proud of your ancestry land. They are claiming that you Black Americans are not proud of Africa. But I want you to understand where these Africans are coming from. When you visit many African countries and you see the history told to their people about who Black Americans are, is that you all are the people who were stolen from Africa, taken there to the USA to become slaves. They don't know what happened after being slaves. They don't know the effort that your people have put in fighting to gain your freedom. They don't know the transformation that has happened after gaining your freedom. The creation that you all have created after being taken there to the USA as slaves. Many Black Americans also keep saying that many of their people were indigenous on that land. And many Africans don't support this because it is not part of the curriculum that they were taught in their schools. Some Africans probably who went to the USA and started reading books that were written about the history of Black Americans, they understand this part. I've shown you the clip of those indigenous Black Australians. These are Black people who are indigenous on that land, on that continent, Australia. They don't claim to be Africans. They don't claim to be from Africa. They claim to be indigenous on that land. It does not sound well in the ears of many of these Africans when your Black Americans are saying that you are indigenous on that land. When they see you, the same melanin, they think that you are one of their own, which is not necessarily wrong. The problem is when they are trying to push you into calling yourself African Americans. Africa is a continent that is made of 54 countries. But when you go past in the last 70 years, that is the time when many of these Africans gained their independence. Before these Africans gained their independence, Africa was just a massive land that was made of a bunch of different tribes that had no defined borders. These borders, the modern borders that we have here in Africa, were drawn by those European colonizers. You to force these Black Americans to call themselves African Americans is wrong, because when you are there in the USA, you don't call yourselves African Americans. You either call yourselves Nigerian Americans, Ghanaian Americans, South African Americans, just many other names depending on where you are from in Africa. These Black Americans have no defined country, specific country in Africa where they are from. And they formed their own ethnic group that resulted into becoming the foundation of Black Americans. So I don't really support these comments of these Africans forcing you all to call yourself African Americans. No. We had a conversation about the reparations where many of my Black American brothers and sisters were claiming their own reparations. And it got to that point where we saw many Africans who happen to be the second generation Africans trying to cosplay Black Americans, so that whenever y'all are receiving your reparations, they will also come and start claiming reparation. This is a very big problem, y'all, because these reparations are meant for only the descendants of the formerly enslaved people. I've been talking about this for a long time. I had many conversations with my Black American brothers and sisters. It's so necessary for y'all to define your own lineage, to differentiate it from the groups of all other Black migrants living there in the USA, so that when it happens that you receive your reparations, those people will not cosplay you and receive the money that are meant for your people. That was my take about this topic today. I want y'all to be open and tell me your opinions down there in the comment section. I really want you to educate my fellow Africans who don't understand the reason that many of y'all are pushing against this name African Americans. That was it for today. Your African brother, Mr. TA, signing off.